What's up, guys? Adam Patterson here, and you see the title of the video. Today, I want to talk about investing for the future, for your future, and that comes into with your time, with your energy, and with your money. Now, I want to bring up some things that I learned about, like while I was in college, and I'll kind of tie this back into a personal story of me. But something I learned about in college are a thing called SMART goals, S.M.A.R.T. You want them to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And kind of how I explain this to you is you always want to make sure that you are building yourself for the future. Today's already here. If you're not happy with where you are today, and if you just want to make it to somewhere else in life, you need to set a goal for it. You need to actually work towards it every single day. When I was in college, I was very upset because I had no money. I was very upset because I was in college opposed to owning a company or working already. And I already knew at a very young age that I wanted to own my own company that would support my lifestyle where I could just do whatever I wanted. I never had to go corporate. And that's what I was working towards in college. While I was in college, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I want to own my own company. And I was like, what's the quickest way for me to do that? What do I know right now? What are my skills? What am I good at? And I said, I'm good at speaking with people. I'm good at working with people. And I really enjoy health and fitness and working out. So I'll just become a personal trainer. I'll try and start a YouTube channel because I followed some personal trainers on YouTube, and I was like, these guys make money on here, whether they do it from actual like training people online, training people in person. They have merch lines. They get sponsored by supplement companies, all these things. I started my own YouTube channel. I started my own Instagram account, and I was posting, and I got sponsored by a fitness apparel brand. I got sponsored by a supplement company, started my own website. And that's what I really wanted to do. That's what I was focused on. Obviously it didn't come to fruition, but I was aimed towards a goal, and I was working on getting towards it. But with the intention of it didn't really have to be health and fitness. It was just like the business that I ended up trying to start. But the idea was I wanted a business of my own where I controlled my time, my hours, what I did each day, who I worked with each day, how I performed each day. And I needed it just to be able to cover my life expenses so that I could go and do it for the rest of time. That was my life goal. And then as time kind of went on, the business wasn't actually making enough money where where it could support my life and where I didn't need to have a job or anything else. I had to go get a job. And with the intention of, I want to still learn these skills. I want to learn how to sell better. I want to learn how to market myself better. I want to learn how to go to market better so that I can learn how to make money, because I knew that in order for any company to be successful, you need sales, you need top line revenue. And then from there, you can kind of work backwards and make your margin somewhere by saving on costs, whatever. But I needed goals to work with. And as time has gone on in life, I've had a few different sales jobs. I learned that I can be successful in sales with as long as I have time, as long as I have like a year, 6 months to a year to be able to just like make no money. I know by at the end of a year, I would be making plenty of money to support my life. And that's like starting with zero, no salary, no benefits, anything. When I was thinking about leaving my job, and I was like, okay, I want to have my own company. So bringing it back, I want to have my own company that's specific. I need it to be able to support my life in terms of like how much I can pay myself. That's measurable. How much, all I had to do was look at my lifestyle bills that I had, which turned out to be about 2,500 a month at the time. Now it's a little bit more because I have to pay for software and things, but it's right around 3,300. And then some months, if I have some weird thing pop up, it can be as much as 4,000. Achievable. You can absolutely make 3,300 to $4,000 a month in take home pay after taxes and everything running your own company. It's 100% achievable. It's actually not as much as you would think it is. You don't have to make as much as you would think you would. And I achieved it in my third month in business. It wasn't like it was this like super long off thing, but my thought was, can I get there by the end of a year? And I was like, yeah, 100%. Because when I looked at what I was already doing in terms of like the accounts that I had already brought on, the sales that I had already made, the new sales I was making, I was doing it anyways. I went into the same industry and just figured I could definitely do this. Relevant is a, I'm not really sure what relevant means, but in this terms at least, but I had something that was absolutely relevant. And then time bound, I said I was giving myself a year, and then I gave myself a 2 year like launch pad in terms of money that I had set aside for myself where I could pay out of my savings to pay for all of our life and everything that we're doing. I had goals in place that I was working towards. And the reason that I'm doing this, the reason why I'm saying investing in your future time, money, energy, obviously I had to take savings and I was investing that towards my future here because I'm paying for my life. And then in that same time, I had to use my time that I now freed up by paying for it because I quit my job. Now paying for all of my own time. I had to use my time and my energy to start moving towards the goals that I wanted, which was creating this business, getting it to a spot where I could pay for my own life just from the income that I make off of it, and then working to achieve those goals in my time period. And like I said, I gave myself a year. I did it in 3 months, and now I've done it every single month since then. But this is all the investment in the future because what I really want in life, if you ask yourself why you want this so many times, I have always hated authority. I've hated being told what to do. I've hated being put into a box. When I got my first taste of freedom in life, I was like, wow, how freaking amazing is this? Like, no one can tell me what to do. I get to make all my own choices. And that's just a big step to take in your life. So you have to be prepared for it, but you also need to work towards it. You're born free in this world in terms of like what your choices can be. But when you grow older, you realize that you need money, you need income, you need these things to be able to pay for your life. And if you want to own your time, if you want to own your actual life, if you want to own what you do day in and day out, and you want to be truly free, you need money. You need the financial backing. You need the income coming from things that aren't controlled by other people. You just kind of have to be free, and you don't have to own a big business. It can be a small business, and it can absolutely pay for your lifestyle. Like as I am right now, I'm one person running a company out of the back office of my house, and it pays plenty for me to live my life exactly how I want to for the rest of my life as it is today. Obviously, I want to keep growing. This is not where my goals end, but it was the beginning of something that I figured was exactly what I wanted in life, and I'm loving it. My thoughts are free, my days are free. I get to choose what I want to do every single day. And it just so happens to be that I love working. I find a lot of joy in work. I've always found a lot of purpose in work. I just continue to work every single day, and that's a beautiful thing. But you should always be investing in where you want to go with your time, your money, your energy. In the beginning stages, when I was young and I didn't really know what I was doing, I invested in a lot of books. That's how I built these bookshelves over here. I invested in a lot of books, online courses, YouTube videos that are free, but I bought a lot of books to read and learn how to sell, learn how to market, learn how to send emails, learn how to do all of these things, learned about business. I invested my time and my energy in watching YouTube videos, watching the successful, seeing and listening to, hearing what they did to kind of build themselves into who they were. And you can do that in different ways throughout your journey, but you just have to find the easiest way to start, apply Occam's razor, and find the simplest place, the easiest place where you can start today with what you have and build forward from there. But I appreciate it, guys. I hope this was valuable to you. I hope you learned something or could take something away from this. If you have, leave a like on the video. It helps me grow and I appreciate it. More people might see this message. Always leave a comment below with what you took away, what you gathered, or what maybe I missed in this video if you think that there's something else that I didn't even speak on. And then always subscribe so that you can see more tips, topics, and videos and follow along in the journey because I take you through how I build my business, which is currently 7 figures, and we're moving to multiple 7 figures and 8 figures and beyond. Follow along because I'll share behind the scenes. I'll show the day in the life vlogs, and hopefully you can take from my experience, my perception, what I'm doing right now, and my knowledge where it grows. And hopefully it helps you do the same thing that you want to do in your lives. Appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.